I've been gone for 2 whole weeks, and it wasn't because I wanted to be gone, but it was because anxiety has a way of making you feel like you need to disappear, even around those things that you love. And the world has felt really heavy lately, and in response to that, I just went quiet. But today I'm back with caffeine in hand, and I want to tell you what these last 2 weeks have actually looked like, because I have a feeling that I'm not the only one who's needed to disappear for a little while. With everything going on in the world, and then added stress of family and my job, it became really hard to just sit and record, even to process thoughts of what I should talk about. And forget reading, I have not gotten much further in my books than I wanted to. It's just been a lot. So anxiety and depression work very different for different people. Some people stay in bed, some people need to get away. For me, I just want to reset. I want to sit with my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions. One of the first things that I start feeling when I have really bad anxiety is I start to miss my mom. You may or may not know, she passed away 5 years ago. I started thinking about her death, and I was lucky enough to be there when she actually died. So whenever her anniversary comes back, depending on what's going on, I'm either just sad or I'm crippling sad. I imagine how much more time I have without her being able to hear me complain. Family things are not for me to share, but we are trying to make our way through it. Anxiety, it's a jagged, sometimes flat line. The other thing is I have restless sleep. I used to have no sleep, and then my therapist gave me mild sleeping pill. That's great because I sleep, but I start flipping and flopping like a pancake. Sometimes I wake up relaxed. Sometimes I wake up achy. Other times I wake up and I don't feel like I slept. Then I start doom scrolling. And I know it doesn't make any sense, but stay with me and I will latch on to another piece of news. Now I'm scrolling because now I want to know, who is it? What is it? What happened? Who's responsible? Then I'll start just going down that rabbit hole. And it may or may not make me feel better unless I completely shut down my phone and social media. I'm just going into this spinning cycle news. Then I start thinking about my 3 daughters' future. What is it going to look like for them? They're worried about it as well. What happens when they start wanting to make their own families or to build their own communities? How hard is it going to be for them? And then I just want to scream into the void. My shutdown looks very different. I don't stay in bed. I go to work, smile and push through, and I don't want to eat. I don't want to do anything. That has been the last 2 weeks. And I'll tell you what the biggest irony to that is. The biggest irony is while I'm going through this anxiety, I decided that I was going to do the Instagram 30-day Dare to Post challenge with Stan. I've been pushing myself that because maybe I need this push. Girl, some days I am sitting there looking at the phone, wondering, what am I doing here? I think today's day 11 or 12. I stopped counting, but I have been consistent. Some of those days I have barely made it under the wire, but I made it, and that's all that really matters. I thought, what can I make my anxiety harder? Oh yes, let me add another challenge. But I'm a challenge girl. Right now, I am feeling better because it's spring. Spring and fall are my favorite season. The weather is perfect. You're starting to see the changes. I have a hummingbird feeder and a bird feeder right outside my office window. Flowers starting to bloom on the trees and the leaves starting to come out. For me is a very refreshing. I'm looking at what campgrounds are near me. I think I want to start doing like a camping trip every weekend because I notice the more I'm in nature, the better I feel, which brings me to the next thing. I need to start doing my walks again. Unfortunately, part of my anxiety is not doing anything physical. So I'm not eating because I'm already hitting my protein goals. I'm not doing my stretches. My shoulder has been killing me. And I will start using that as an excuse. My shoulder was hurting before. So what changed? No, I don't want to. I'm reading Courage to be Disliked. We were raised to people please. Company comes to your house, you better have food, coffee, a clean house. Yes, I'll take that project. Yes, I'll take those emails. Yes, I will take that responsibility. It's very uncomfortable to say no. It's a very uncomfortable to put up a boundary. And this book is really helping me with that. One of the things it talks about is how trauma is not an excuse. I reread it 2 or 3 times. My parents' journey to the United States was really difficult from Cuba. My father was in a raft. My mother had to come and be separated from her mother for months. Leave all her friends, they met each other and I was created. So obviously that benefited me. But do you hold on to that trauma or try to use that how you step up? It's a tough one, but that's why we read these books. One of the other things that I got really excited about, I went to go see Scream 7. I knew I wanted to see it on opening night because I didn't want anybody to spoil it. Great movie. I am a super fan of Scream. If I had to pick a series of horror movies that are my favorite, Scream would be the top 5 for sure. So now that you know where I am today, I'm not coming back with a big plan. I'm not coming back with a giant list. I'm coming back one step at a time. One client asked the other day, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's what we're doing. I'm curious if you have been feeling the heavy lately too. What is the small step? What's the one bite right now? If you've been quiet lately too, maybe today is your first small step. Enjoy your coffee.